Since we're having a bit of an Iron Man extravaganza here at Kapow, we thought we'd take a look at some of the more current titles available, both in Marvel Now and also in all ages.
Yeah, well, let's start off with the Marvel Now title. The first volume has been released in hardcover under the title Believe. We follow Tony Stark as he jets around the world in a series of increasingly impressive suits of armor, hunting down samples of the Extremis protocol that have been sold on the black market to various ne'er-do-wells.
It was an interesting choice by writer Kieran Gillen to retread old ground with Extremis and the struggle to keep it out of the wrong hands. Look, I know that Marvel Now isn't technically a reboot, but all I got whilst reading this was a vague feeling of, wait, haven't I read this before?
Okay, well, I think there's something to be said for going into some familiar territory before we grab Iron Man and fling him up into space to get all Guardians of the Galaxy.
Then start with one of the familiar awesome villains, rather than sending him through a stream of short, lackluster face-offs with a bunch of second-string bad guys like Firebrand and Living Laser.
Okay, I'll agree that the plot may be a bit of a misstep. Instead of a sort of an exciting, flowing first arc to start off this title, Gillen's instead gone with a series of punch-ups that, honestly, Iron Man kind of seems to win without breaking a sweat.
And the art is equally as bad.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think Greg Land has actually done some really cool work on the Iron Man suits. They look really cool.
That is true, but the people themselves look awful. Most of the male faces, including Tony's, are a weird, squinty, mumpy mess, and every female looks identical. There's one frame where Pepper asks Tony if she looks like every other woman to him, and I had to laugh out loud because, yes, Pepper, you do. You just have red hair.
Right, did you like anything about this one?
The colours are good.
Right.
But that's about it. I'm afraid I found this incredibly tedious and not very inspired to look at either, so I'm giving it a berry.
Ouch, okay, well look, I did like the Iron Man suits, I thought they looked good, and although I would have preferred some larger scale battles to start this title off, I thought there were a few good action moments, so I'm going to give it a borrow.
Alright then, well moving straight on into the all ages titles. This Iron Man is targeted at young readers. It takes place in the period where only Rhodey knew that Tony Stark was actually Iron Man.
Now we looked at the first 2 issues of this one. Issue 1 features the Mandarin, so it's a great one for younger readers who've just seen the latest movie and want to get into the comics. Issue 2 has Tony facing off against Plant Man and Spy Master.
This is a really fun title, and I think that writer Fred Van Lente has done a really great job at setting the tone. It kind of reminded me of the animated series Armored Adventures, which I personally really like, so that was a big thumbs up for me.
Yeah. It looks really nice too. There's a good sense of dynamic motion to the characters and a high level of detail. James Cordero has put the right feel into this, I think. I liked it. I'm going to give it a buy.
Yeah, look, I agree. I don't think this has enough sophistication for older readers, so I think all ages is a bit of a misnomer. But for younger guys who really want to get into the Iron Man series, this is a great place to start. I'm giving it a buy too.